Hi Sandy, today I am coming to you with my YALCathon roundup, I suppose. I didn't do a TBR video or a vlog or anything like that, but basically what I'm going to go through is what I read for YALCathon, what I did for YALCathon, and if you don't know, YALCathon was based on YALC, which is the Young Adult Literary Convention, and there's a whole huge group of us on BookTube who either some of us were going to YALC or some of us weren't, and a couple of girls, Jem and Kendra, decided that for the people who weren't able to go to YALC, they would create YALCathon, which is a readathon based around YALC. So basically they got their heads together and set up this beautiful graphic. I will link their stuff down below, and each table or area was a prompt, and there were self-care prompts on top of book prompts, and they basically, you know, did their announcement videos, and we all took part in YALCathon if we weren't at YALC, and some people who were at YALC still took part in it even though they should have been banned because they got to go to YALC. But yeah, so basically I'm going to go through what I did and what I read and what the prompts were for YALCathon. The first prompt was a picture of your TBR, so it was simple: post a picture of your TBR, whether it be you want to show it in a vlog, in a TBR video, if you wanted to do a picture on Twitter, Instagram, anything like that, post it up to show everybody what you plan to read for YALCathon. So I did that, put it on my Twitter, and really should have put it on my Instagram as well, but I just put it on my Twitter, which if you pop over to my Twitter you'll be able to see, but I will go through the books I read in this video anyway. So that is prompt 1 ticked off. Prompt 2 was the first reading prompt, and that was a quick read, and for that I chose Nick and Charlie by Alice Oseman. This was only 161 pages, so it was a really quick read. I accidentally read them out of order because this was supposed to come after one that I read after this, but who cares, it's fine, I'll just do whatever I want. So Nick and Charlie is what it sounds like, a, you know, quick novella about Nick and Charlie. This is after Heartstopper and also during Solitaire by Alice Oseman, which is one of the things I didn't realise, that it was after or during Solitaire. But we live and we learn, and it didn't really spoil anything, so that's fine. So that is prompt 2 ticked off. Prompt 3 was a reading sprint, so to join the YALCathon reading sprints, they had sprints on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday they did 12 hours of reading sprints, which was incredible that they managed to keep going that whole time because I was decked that day, so good on you girls. But yeah, so I popped onto the reading sprints for a while, read some pages with them, so again, tick, that's prompt 3 ticked off. Prompt 4, sorry, was another bookish prompt, and that was a book by a favourite author. For that prompt I read Solitaire by Alice Oseman. Alice Oseman is quickly becoming one of my favourite authors. I have all of the Heartstopper graphic novels up here, and you've probably seen other videos of my new Heartstopper tattoo. It is based on the leaves that she uses for Heartstopper, and so I decided to pick up Solitaire. I am planning on finishing off her books very, very soon, but I really wanted to read Tori's story. So yeah, this is about Tori Spring, who is Charlie's sister, and I believe she wrote this before Heartstopper, but basically Tori attends this other school. It's the all-girls school that matches Charlie's all-boys school, and there is a group called Solitaire that are causing some issues and some trouble at the school, and Tori is determined to find out what's going on while also struggling with her own mental health. It is a great novel, I really enjoyed it. Wasn't quite what I was expecting, which kind of put it down a bit for me because I wasn't expecting the mystery aspect, but that's on me for not looking into it. Prompt 5 was to relax and watch some BookTube. I did that, so again, tick off prompt 5. Prompt 6 was to have your favourite meal or a takeaway or snack, something like that, and for that I had a scone while I was at Edinburgh Castle. I don't often get a chance to have scones because I don't really like the packaged ones, and I don't often go places where I can have scones or that they have them that I like because I'm really fussy. So tick that off by having a scone with butter, and that's all I have for my scones. Yes, I'm a weirdo, don't care. Prompt number 7 was another bookish prompt, and that was a diverse book. And for that prompt I read You've Reached Sam. This is a book written by an Asian author with Asian characters, and it is also, it's diverse in more than one way, but I don't want to kind of dig too much into it in what I thought, because I've not quite got my thoughts all around it yet. Basically, You've Reached Sam follows our main character, Julie, and before the book her boyfriend dies tragically in a car accident, and this book is following Julie's memories. She's having nightmares which are memories of her and Sam and things they did, and she's constantly trying to find him, trying to catch up with him, which is really, I've been there in dreams, and it's a horrible feeling, and it also has a sort of magical realism element where she calls his mobile to hear his voice again on his voicemail, but Sam picks up. He is most certainly dead, but they've made a connection over from the other side, and they don't have a lot of time left, and they only have so many calls, and this follows Julie learning to deal with the fact that Sam is gone. And I don't really want to go more into this one because I feel myself tearing up, because this book really hit me right in the feels, and made me cry like a baby. Not even like a baby, I was just sitting there reading as silent tears just flooded down my face. So yeah, if you've got any problems with grief, this is one to stay away from. But it was beautiful, it was wonderful, it was so understanding of grief and the process of grief and the way that it's not rational, and the way everybody grieves differently, and it was wonderful. And it was Dustin Tao, if I haven't already said who the author was. So yeah, it's a very short read, it was really quick, so pick it up if you think that's something that you would like to read. Prompt number 8 was to buy a book. I heartily did that, went into Dundee on the back of a hospital appointment and bought some books, so well done. And I also went into Blackwell's while we were in Edinburgh and bought more books, so prompt on twice. Thank you very much. So prompt number 9 was your favourite YA trope, and one of my favourite tropes is like an enemies to lovers sort of thing, and I think sometimes in the YA space it can be more fun because a lot of the time it's quite petty, and I love watching teenagers sort of learn new things, if that makes any sense at all. But I've read for that Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Quick. I've seen a number of ways to say this name and I've never actually been able to get the right one, so if anybody knows, please let me know. It's Quach, and Google said it's pronounced like quack, but other things say quack. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know. So basically you've got our two characters, Eliza and Len. Eliza has put her last couple of years at high school into this newspaper, and she is going up unopposed for the editor-in-chief for the next year. And then, less than 24 hours before the election takes place, Len decides, hey, I'd like to do that as well. So he throws his hat into the ring, and lo and behold, he wins. Suddenly Eliza has decided that this guy needs to be taken down. She is angry, she is pissed, she cannot believe that this unqualified ex-jock has taken her rightful spot, and it is her rightful spot. She's done the work, she's done, everything to get this job and do this job right, and then she's been taken over by someone who's written 3 articles and has only been there for a few months. So yeah, she sort of types out this rant basically, which then gets posted to the website of the paper that they work on, and all hell breaks loose from there because high school kids are mean, and suddenly they turn on Eliza, and yet Len seems to be okay with her despite the fact that she's the one that she dragged. But yeah, it was a really good read, really fast read. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was gonna. This book to me is everything that I love about YA. It just is the epitome of what I enjoy in YA, because these are characters who are not perfect, who act like children, who are petty and who don't talk to each other, and you know, they go through that growth of learning the lessons that I remember going through when I was in high school and when I was younger. And I think it's really important to show that, you know, teenagers, their emotions are high, everything's life or death, and teenagers nowadays need to understand that that's okay and that's normal, and that's what I think this book did within the space of, you know, this competition. And then it brings in feminism and what feminism is and what it's not, and it was just really, really interesting. And yeah, I'm making a mess of this, but I can't recommend this more. So that is 9 prompts ticked off. Prompt 10 was to have your favourite drink. I did a couple of these over the weekend, so I got myself an iced latte because it was hot as balls and I was dying, so I ended up getting myself an iced latte, which I love. It is a real treat for me to have an iced latte. I also got myself tea, all the tea. Tea's my favourite drink. I had tea all the time, so ticked off that prompt, so that's 10 out of the 12. So prompt number 11 was to read a signed book or a book that you would love to have signed by the author. And for that I read This Winter by Alice Oseman. Don't think it needs to be said again how much I love Alice Oseman. Again, this takes part during Solitaire, and I should have read this after Solitaire and before Nick and Charlie, I believe. I know I messed up something, but I can't remember how I messed it up. But yeah, this basically follows one winter where it kind of goes over Christmas and how difficult it is over that winter with Charlie and everything that happens in the later end of Heartstopper, that if you've not read volumes 3 and 4 you won't quite understand, so I don't want to spoil anything for it. But yeah, basically it's just a difficult Christmas, let's put it that way, a difficult Christmas for Charlie and Tori and Nick, and it's done so well. Alice Oseman always knows her characters and does things so well. But yeah, this is the book that I would love to get signed, or one of the books I would love to get signed by Alice Oseman if I ever got the chance to meet her. Okay, so that's all the prompts. There is one prompt left, and that's prompt 12, and that's to celebrate. And that's to celebrate that we've finished, to celebrate that YALCathon is over, that YALC is over, that we did it, that we got there, we got to the end, we took part, we had this community, and we all got together and we did this amazing thing, and we supported each other, and we did so much together, so much self-care, so much self-love. It was incredible, and everybody that was involved, thank you so much for taking part. It wasn't my readathon, it was Kendra and Jem's readathon, and they did an amazing job, but everybody was so supportive of me. Whenever I spoke to them, we were all supportive of each other as a community, and this readathon just shows to me how incredible the booktube community is, and I'm so lucky and privileged to be part of that. So thank you so much. And if I had a party popper I would let it off. I don't, so here's some invisible confetti. I would do the effects, but again I've not worked out how to do all that in editing yet. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!